Hi, my name is Stephanie Lair, and for my strategic analysis, I've chosen to study Duolingo. So what is Duolingo? Duolingo is a free online language learning platform. The application is designed to feel like a game with colorful illustrations, multiple choice, and fill-in-the-blank questions. Each answer tests the user's ability to read, write, and speak in the language they are studying. The application is scientifically proven to be effective and is used by over 300 million users learning 37 different languages, making it the most downloaded education app in the world and the most popular way to learn a language online. Duolingo's goal is to give everyone an access to a private tutor experience through technology, and their mission is to make education free, fun, and accessible to all. Duolingo was started in 2011 by Professor Louis Von Ahn and his former student Severin Hacker. Von Ahn is a native of Guatemala who wanted to find a way to provide high-quality education that would be free to everyone regardless of their socioeconomic status. During Von Ahn's time at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, he worked with one of his graduate students, Severin Hacker, to develop the Duolingo program. The primary market for Duolingo is the application platform. Their differentiation plan can easily be described with the differentiation Ps. The biggest way the product stands out against competitors is that it's free. Personally, as a consumer of language learning devices, this is a huge plus for the product because other products can cost hundreds of dollars, like Rosetta Stone, and language immersion programs can cost thousands of dollars. Now, providing a free program provides a big advantage to the users over their competitors. The second unique factor is that Duolingo is fun. As I discussed, the platform is a game-like learning tool, so learning a language is painless and users want to keep playing in order to achieve levels and new program goals. Lastly, users are providing unlimited access to their learning style because they have unlimited access to learning potential. Each click of a user provides data to Duolingo about best learning strategies. Users are willing to forget their answers are being compiled in mass data in order for them to have unlimited learning potential. Duolingo continues to move towards forward vertical integration and incorporates diversification. They are constantly trying to incorporate more stages of the value chain to interact directly with the final consumer, while at the same time trying to find places in the market where they can be unique and stand out. In 2013, Duolingo launched crowdsourced language courses. This allowed native speakers and language enthusiasts to create courses that were cross-checked with Duolingo's patented algorithm. In 2014, Google Glass and Android Wear provided language learning on their wearable technology via voice activation. Later in 2014, Duolingo came up with Duolingo English Test, or a language certification exam. Users could certify their English skills from their computer or mobile app for only $20 US and was accepted in 60 universities. In 2015, Duolingo for Schools was launched. This allowed the Duolingo app to be used as a technological companion to classroom teaching, where patterns could be identified about learning habits of students. It also helped teachers identify student learning needs at a very specific level of detail that they weren't able to do before. And in 2016, Tiny Cards was developed. Duolingo reinvented flashcards to make studying just a little bit more fun. You can see that Duolingo moves to reduce the opportunistic threats while at the same time exploring the rare and valuable resources and capabilities it has to offer. I would consider Duolingo's strategic profile to be an analyzer, as they are cautious to gather a lot of information from R&D, but they are also likely to make moves in response to the market. Duolingo is successful at creating synergy with their new additional integrations. For example, when students are using the program Duolingo for Schools, they're not only participating in the Duolingo for Schools program, but the students are also users of the application and providing feedback on language learning to the Duolingo researchers. This really provides the 2 + 2 = 5 effect that corporate strategists are looking for. Duolingo has many strategic alliances. They've raised over $83.3 million in venture capital from investors such as Google Capital, Union Square Ventures, and Ashton Kutcher. And this leads us to our TOES matrix. I first thought about the internal factors and identified organizational strengths as first, the number of languages offered, which is currently 37. Second, the application is free and game-like. It's a free and game-like product that can be used for people of all ages. And then third, the company is really data-driven, and the results are analyzed for further educational improvements. I identified 3 weaknesses as well. First, the product is only available via an application through some sort of technology. So there are limits for consumer access. Second, the algorithms could be incorrect or misleading based on data that's gathered. And third, consumers are learning more reading and writing and less oral communication skills. Next, I identified external factors. The environmental opportunities include being able to provide data to different organizations like schools, governments, local learning organizations that teach foreign language, etc. And it's also important to remember the increasing need for bilingual people in today's world. Many people in other countries outside the US learn more than one language as they're growing up. Americans really are at a disadvantage for global opportunities if they only have the knowledge of the one language being English. Next, the environmental threats. First, there's always a threat of increase in data restriction laws. Last May, new data consent and restriction laws were implemented in the EU, which is GDPR, and it's most likely that more laws are going to be created to protect privacy in the future throughout the world. Second, operating systems and technology change very quickly, so it's possible that an application quickly becomes out of date. And then lastly, language learners may prefer the real-world language immersion experience as opposed to application learning online. So what does this all mean for Duolingo's strategy going forward? I have 4 strategic recommendations. I would recommend that Duolingo use their strength and opportunities and target locations with low language learning participation. In a U.S. state-by-state analysis, Duolingo identified about 2% of people in Mississippi and West Virginia are learners of a second language, while places like Utah and California have over 6% of the population who are second language learners. Next, the strengths and threats strategy would be to increase marketing for a wide variety of language options available. Employers are looking for individuals who stand out in the crowd. So for example, if you're looking at a job at IKEA, learning some Swedish would show that you're taking that extra step to become more qualified for the company. Moving on to weaknesses and opportunities. The strategy should be to focus on oral communication. A new product could be offered with real-time interactions with other users who speak the native languages. Or also we could set up group interactions between student classrooms. And then finally, looking at the weaknesses and threats, a good strategy would be to move away from an online platform and include something more tangible like physical flashcards or workbooks. This would shield the company from data protection laws or consumer data preferences and different changes in the technology. So in closing, Duolingo began as a startup company to offer a learning opportunity to anyone who wanted to learn. They've implemented different strategies in the few years that the company has been in business, and I believe they'll continue to grow and evolve as the world continues to globalize.